Last night, my friends, I had the time of my life. I went to the Strumming Bird Festival here on the sunny coast. Jelly Roll and Shabuzi were playing. It was a country vibe, and I'm a big country fan. I'm also a very big rock and metal fan. And when you mix the two together, you have an atmosphere that is honestly electric. I had an amazing time. I really needed a night out like that because I don't get out much at all. I am constantly doing this and working, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's not much of a social life for Jay Phantom outside of, like, running and exercise and everything else that I do. And it was good for me because I don't go out at nighttime, right? Like, I prefer to stay at home, enjoy the comfort of my bed and sleep because I'm up at 3 in the morning. Like, that's a little bit of a world insight of Jay and what Jay's doing, because I am a crazy son of a gun, right? So I wanted to let you all know about that because I didn't get home until 12 in the morning last night. Didn't get to sleep until around 12:30, almost 1. And I was up again at 3 in the morning, dragged my sorry carcass out of bed, did a workout and got stuck on with my day. So again, I apologize in advance to all of you if I am seemingly sluggish and I can't remember things because, man, I am tired, but it was so worth it. Now, today I want to talk about a segment that Konstantin Kisin was on Joe Rogan recently, which it's always amazing when Konstantin Kisin is on Joe Rogan or any podcast whatsoever because the man is really smart. He's debated Dave Smith a number of times and destroyed Dave Smith a number of times on those debates using reason, logic, and rationale. Because as we know, Dave Smith is a dingbat when it comes to anything to do with Israel. Dave Smith thinks that he is on the right side, even though a lot of his arguments are very emotional. They don't come with any facts or logic or anything like that whatsoever. And that came, case in point, when he was debating Coleman Hughes. Coleman Hughes, man, that guy is incredibly intelligent and ripped Dave Smith a new one, utterly humiliated the guy. And this is what happens when you have someone like Coleman Hughes who goes up against someone like Dave Smith. So compare that to, say, Piers Morgan, another dingbat, bringing on another dingbat, Dave Smith, talk about a subject matter that both of them got no idea anything about. That's what was amazing to me when you had Dave Smith get honestly annihilated by Coleman Hughes, and then you have other people like Constantine and Joe Rogan. Even Joe Rogan has started to realize that maybe his friend Dave Smith is not the kind of expert that he thought that he was when it came to Israel. Now, keep in mind, this is the same Joe Rogan that brought on the emotional support buddy of Dave Smith when Douglas Murray was there to debate all these things. And that's what caused a massive firestorm because Douglas Murray ripped Dave Smith a new one. Yet again, Joe Rogan went after Douglas Murray and the whole firestorm escalated on that. And now you have someone like Coleman Hughes, for example, that is very calm under pressure, very collected, very intelligent. And all he had to do was steer the conversation towards all the facts. He had everything prepared. Now, this is the thing. In the day and age of social media, right, we are taught to believe a certain thing because it's like clickbait. I'm going to say the most provocative thing. I'm personally not, but all these other people, these podcasters, they know exactly what they're doing. I was watching a video yesterday. I think it's from some guy that lives in Japan Abroad, I think is his YouTube channel. And he was talking about this very thing. People are taking a short clip and then blowing up in mass proportions, not telling the truth, but they're skewing the truth. They're making it all about this one particular side. That, you know how there's always two sides to every coin, or even two sides to every story? This is it. Because they're only showing one side of a much bigger picture. And social media has conditioned, like the algorithm nowadays is conditioning lots of that drama, lots of that. And Piers Morgan, his show, he's capitalized on it. Candace Owens, she's capitalized on it. Say the most provocative thing, and I guarantee you people will flock to you. Also, conspiracy theories, another big avenue nowadays, because it has to do with drama, has to do with the craziest thing you can possibly think of. And wouldn't you know it, everyone's just going, well, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to believe it. And that's wrong. And Constantine, going on Joe Rogan, pointed this out. Here is what he had to say about it.
I find this in myself. If I'm having a disagreement with somebody online, I always have to stop myself from going personal, which I would never do.
Right,
if we're having a debate.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like Dave Smith is a good example. Like Dave and I disagree about literally everything. We've debated each other twice. It was always respectful. We didn't get personal. We debated the issues.
That's great.
If we're having an engagement on Twitter, I literally have to stop myself from calling him a... Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
And to his face, it wouldn't even occur to me because he actually seems like a good guy.
He's a great guy.
Like I disagree with him about stuff.
And that's what it's all about, though. What it's all about is disagreement. It's all about who's got the better argument. I thought his conversation with Coleman Hughes was fascinating.
It was.
Coleman did a fantastic job. And he is one of the absolute best guys out there of just staying cool in the face of the most ridiculous statements, the dumbest shit, outright lies, never gets emotional, stays on point, always perfectly stated. Every point that he has is perfectly articulated, stays on point. And I thought with him and Dave, one thing that he made was a very good point was the when he was talking about what is that general's name? I want to say West, but that's not it.
Wesley Clark.
Wesley Clark, that's right.
Yeah.
Wesley Clark, where he had the plan of, attacking all this, but he never read it.
Right.
That was like one of the most important points.
Right.
It's like they brought it to him, they told him what's in it, but he's like, I don't want to read it. That was an important point. And what Coleman said, if you were a historian, you could not have included that in your book. And I was like, he's right.
The other thing that Coleman did very well as well is, I think the one thing Dave probably, in my opinion, underappreciates is the role of Islamism. I think he often conflates Muslims with Islamists, and there's a big fucking difference. And I have a lot of friends in the Middle East and places like the UAE, Saudi Arabia. They all hate Hamas. They all hate Islamists because they're a direct threat to them. And I think Coleman really brought that out in the conversation as well, which is a lot of the motivation for these Islamist movements is an extreme version of Islam that is fundamentally about creating a caliphate and destroying the infidel. And I think that sometimes gets lost as well. I thought that was a really great discussion in which that was kind of brought to the surface.
You had Joe Rogan not praise Dave Smith, his buddy, about the Coleman Hughes debate and say Coleman Hughes... Dave Smith did a fantastic job. No, he praised Coleman Hughes, especially that moment where Joe Rogan, in the face of lies. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, because as we know, Coleman Hughes was debating Dave Smith that lies all the time, and he stayed cool, calm, and collected. He told the truth. That's what you've got to do nowadays. You've got to be like a Coleman Hughes. You've got to be someone that brings all of the facts to the forefront. Wesley Clark, that example for, like, as Joe Rogan pointed out, because Dave Smith was on and on and on about it. Like they had a four-star general. He said this. But the fact is, he didn't actually read the report. That makes a huge difference. And as Coleman pointed out, you, as a historian, you can't use it. And Joe was like, well, Coleman's right. Dave, you shouldn't be trying to lead people astray and trying to make it out like your argument is better or right when it's not. That's not the way this goes. You should tell the truth, say the facts, and concede because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. This is my problem with social media nowadays. We are conditioned to think a certain way. It's very, very clever. We are all going in one particular direction. It is short snippets. We all get like outraged by the thing we see. Sometimes it happens to me as well. And I have to reframe my thinking around this and go, well, what is the truth? Let's find the truth. And what I try and do on this show all the time is bring people towards the truth. Don't just go, well, she said this. This is absolutely horrible. We've got to come. Yes, it is horrible. 100%. Let's actually contextualize this. Let's find the context. Let's actually tell the whole truth. Let's tell the whole story. That's important. This is a story box. After all, we are telling the whole story, not just a little part of it. If I know the whole story, then I will share the whole story. Sometimes I will be a bit premature and jump the gun, but most of the time I will wait. I will wait to see what the internet does, like the whole Matt Walsh thing, before I say certain things. I'm not just going to jump on it because I feel like jumping on it and because it's like trendy and clicky. I don't care. I really don't. If I cared, watch the show just go whoop. Because you just hear me change and lie through the skin of my teeth. Because it's provocative. And because it's profitable. I'm not about that. And now I think Joe, thanks to the help of people that have brains, and like Joe said, disagreements is all what it's about. We're allowed to have disagreements. It's okay to disagree with people. It happens. We're adults. We can learn to overcome, can't we? And if you're wrong, you're wrong. But potentially, maybe the Coleman Hughes, I don't think it did, based on what I've been seeing recently, but maybe Joe can go to Dave and go, Dave, you just got humiliated. And now I'm calling you out on my show. You're not everything that I thought you were. When I actually have someone. See, it would be interesting if you had a moderator like Joe, for example. He had Coleman Hughes versus Dave Smith on the podcast. I mean, it's already been done, but it'd be interesting to have Joe see which way he goes, because Joe's like one of the biggest podcasters around, is he not? So I think it's our responsibility as podcasters to tell the truth all the time. Anyway, that's enough from me. You guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.